Oracle, how can you tell if someone is truly intelligent and wise? And how much does metacognition play a part in this analysis?
You can usually tell by how someone handles complexity, uncertainty, and new information. A truly intelligent person processes information quickly, makes connections others might miss, and adapts strategies effectively. Wisdom shows in judgment. They anticipate consequences, balance competing priorities, and act in ways that consider both short and long-term effects. Metacognition, awareness of one's own thinking, is central. It's what allows someone to notice their biases, question assumptions, and adjust behavior. Without it, intelligence can be clever but reckless, and wisdom can be shallow or inconsistent. Essentially, metacognition amplifies both traits. It's the lens through which knowledge and experience are accurately applied. If you want, I can give concrete examples of behaviors that reveal someone's intelligence, wisdom, and metacognition in action.
Yes, please.
All right, here's how it shows in real life. Someone truly intelligent will ask questions that go beyond the obvious, notice patterns others miss, and solve problems creatively without needing constant guidance. They can break down complex situations into understandable parts and adapt strategies on the fly. Someone truly wise often pauses before acting, considers long-term consequences, and weighs multiple perspectives. They give advice that balances logic with empathy and rarely jump to extremes or impulsive decisions. Metacognition shows up in how they reflect on their own thought process. They admit when they don't know something, adjust when they're wrong, and actively think about how their biases or emotions might be shaping their decisions. For example, they might ask themselves, am I seeing this situation clearly, or am I influenced by fear, habit, or social pressure? In practice, you'll notice them in three ways. They learn from mistakes quickly, they apply knowledge with judgment, and they anticipate consequences before acting. Those three together, intelligence, wisdom, and metacognition, create a rare but powerful combination. If you want, I can also describe how to spot subtle signs of this combination in everyday conversations and decisions, which is surprisingly revealing.
Oh, yes, please.
All right, the subtle signs show up in how people think, speak, and decide, often in ways you might almost overlook. In conversations, someone with intelligence, wisdom, and metacognition rarely just assert opinions. They ask questions, clarify assumptions, and consider alternative viewpoints. They can hold multiple possibilities in mind without needing to be right immediately. You'll notice they pause thoughtfully before responding, not because they're slow, but because they're weighing perspective and consequences. In decision making, they rarely act purely on impulse or social pressure. Even small choices reflect foresight. They'll consider ripple effects and how actions align with principles. They also adjust quickly if feedback or new information shows their plan was off. Other subtle cues. They acknowledge uncertainty openly, admit when they don't know, and actively seek perspectives that challenge their assumptions. They also tend to notice patterns others miss, not just in facts, but in human behavior, motivation, and dynamics. Put together, these behaviors create a sort of gravity around them. People instinctively trust their judgment, not because it's flashy, but because it consistently balances insight, foresight, and self-awareness. If you want, I can illustrate this with a tiny real-world scenario showing all three, intelligence, wisdom, and metacognition, working together in a single decision. Do you want me to do that?
Yes, please conclude with that and then finish there. Thank you.
All right. Imagine a manager faced with a critical team decision. A new project could bring high reward, but also significant risk. Intelligence shows as they quickly analyze data, anticipate potential problems, and map out possible outcomes. Wisdom appears when they weigh long-term impact on the team, company, and stakeholders, not just immediate profit. Metacognition emerges as they pause to reflect. Am I favoring the option I like personally? Am I influenced by fear or pressure? They ask the team for input, listen carefully, and adjust their plan based on feedback. The result? A decision that is well-informed, balanced, and self-aware, benefiting both the immediate situation and future outcomes. This single scenario illustrates how intelligence, wisdom, and metacognition converge to create truly effective judgment.